It starts with a silence you've never heard before. No hum from the refrigerator, no distant drone of the highway, just a heavy, suffocating quiet. You check your phone, no signal. You check the Wi-Fi, dead. You think it's a localized outage. You think they will have it fixed in an hour. You are wrong. Right now, 90% of the population is trapped in a normalcy bias. They are sitting on their couches, waiting for the lights to come back on. They are scrolling through ghost apps, hoping for a notification that isn't coming. They are wasting the most precious resource they will ever own, the golden hour. By the time they realize the trucks aren't coming to restock the shelves will be gone. By the time they realize the water in the tap is contaminated, their kids will already have drank it. By the time they realize the police are grounded at the precinct, the wolf is already at the door. I am Victor Thorne. This is Vanguard Survival. I've spent 20 years in the shadows of the tactical world, training for the day the thin blue line snaps. I don't care about your prepper hobbies. I don't care about your basement full of dehydrated beans if you don't have the stomach to defend them. Survival isn't about what you own. It's about what you do in the next 1,440 minutes. Societal collapse isn't a single explosion. It's a series of falling dominoes. If you miss the first one, the rest will crush you. Most people will spend the first 24 hours in denial. That denial is a death sentence. In this video, I am stripping away the Hollywood fantasies. I'm giving you a minute-by-minute tactical blueprint for the first day of the end of the world. No fluff, no theories, just the grim, actionable steps required to ensure that when the sun rises tomorrow, you and yours are still breathing. The clock is already ticks. You're already behind. Let's get to work. Listen carefully. The moment the power dies, the clock starts. Most of you will waste the first 60 minutes looking for answers on a dead screen. That is the golden hour. And if you spend it in confusion, you've already lost. First, we need to address the physics of the collapse. You think the water stays on because of magic? No. It stays on because of electric pumps and SCADA systems. When the grid fails, the pumps fail. The moment those pumps stop, the pressure in the municipal lines begins to drop. Physics doesn't care about your feelings. As that pressure drops, a vacuum is created. This is where the siphon effect kicks in. Every bit of sediment, every bit of bacteria, and in some cases, even sewage from cross-connections, gets sucked back into the main lines. Forget what you saw in the movies where people drink from the tap for days. Within the first 2 hours, the water in your pipes isn't just unfiltered, it's potentially toxic. The action: you don't have time to go buy bottled water. The stores are already scenes of carnage. Your bathtub is your primary reservoir. But do not, I repeat, do not, just plug the drain and fill it. A standard bathtub stopper leaks. You'll wake up to an empty tub and a dry house. You need a bathtub liner, a 100-gallon food-grade plastic bladder. You fill it now while the residual pressure is still in the lines. If you wait until hour 4, you're just collecting stagnant poison. The comms trap, your second mistake, trying to call your family. The cellular network is a fragile, overloaded beast. Every time you hit redial, you are burning battery and mental bandwidth. Stop. If they aren't with you, they are on their own until you secure your base of operations. Switch to a crank-powered analog radio. If the emergency broadcast system is silent, you know this isn't a storm. It's the event. Look at that. That is where 90% of your neighbors are heading. The grocery store. They are fighting over bread and milk, perishables that will rot in 72 hours without refrigeration. Going to a Tier 1 retail hub in the first 4 hours will get you killed. It is a high-density kill zone for desperate people. Forget the looting for survival fantasy. You aren't going to scavenge your way out of a collapse in a pair of sneakers and a backpack. Survival is won through strategic acquisition, not desperate grabbing. You need to pivot. While the mob is fighting over the last bag of Cheetos, you are hitting the boring shops. 1. The pharmacy. Not for narcotics, for antibiotics and maintenance meds. Look for shelf-stable items, betadine, gauze, and lidocaine. 2. The hardware store. You aren't there for power tools, you are there for silicone sealant, heavy-duty plywood, and manual hand pumps. A 55-gallon drum is useless if you can't get the liquid out of it. 3. The dry cleaner. Why? Because they have industrial-grade hangers and plastic bags, but more importantly, they are often empty during a crisis. It's a low-threat environment for high-utility materials. The cash fallacy. I have credit cards? No, you have plastic garbage. Within 2 hours, the POS terminals will be paperweights. If you aren't carrying low-denomination tangibles, you are invisible to the economy. You need small bills. No one is going to give you change for a $100 bill when the world is ending. They will take your 100, give you a gallon of gas, and tell you to get lost. Carry 5s, 10s, and 20s. And for the love of God, if you have a local ATM that still has a backup battery, get there in the first 30 minutes. Once that screen goes dark, your digital wealth is a myth. Listen, every minute you spend in the resource sprint is a minute you are exposed. You get in, you get the high-utility, low-weight items, and you disappear. If you're still in the streets by hour 6, you aren't a survivor, you're a target. If you find yourself caught in the city when the clock hits hour 4, you are in the kill zone. The initial shock is wearing off, and the panic is turning into predatory instinct. You need to get home, or to your secondary site, now. But how you move is the difference between being a ghost and being a statistic. The myth of the tactical look. Forget what you saw in the movies. If you step out of your office or car wearing camouflage, a plate carrier, and a tactical backpack covered in MOLLE webbing, you aren't a warrior. You are a loot crate. To a starving or desperate crowd, tactical means this guy has the good stuff. The gray man protocol. You must blend into the local baseline. If everyone is wearing business casual, you wear business casual. If everyone is wearing hoodies, you wear a hoodie. Your goal is to be the person no one remembers 5 minutes after you pass them. Movement tactics. 1. The 3-foot rule. Never walk in the center of the sidewalk. Hug the transition zones, the space between the sidewalk and the buildings. It gives you immediate cover and more options for exit. 2. Visual processing. Do not make eye contact. In a collapse, eye contact is either a challenge or a plea. Both will get you killed. Look at chest level. It allows you to see hands and movement without engaging the face. 3. The vehicle anchor. If you are in a car and traffic grinds to a halt, you have 60 seconds to decide. If the gridlock is total, grab your get-home bag and abandon the vehicle. A car in a riot is a coffin. You've made it home. You think you're safe. You're wrong. You've just moved from the open field to the siege stage. The next 4 hours, hour 4 to hour 8, are about turning your residence into a hard target without making it look like a fortress. The physics of light. Listen carefully. In a blackout, a single 60-watt bulb, or even a candle, can be seen from over a mile away. It is a beacon that says, I have resources and power. Blackout discipline, traditional curtains, are useless. You need light-tight barriers. This is where that hardware store run pays off. Use heavy-duty black contractor bags or aluminum foil taped directly to the glass. Foil is superior. It reflects heat back into the room and blocks 100% of the light. But here is the tactical catch. You must leave the street-facing side of the window looking normal. If your house is the only one with perfectly blacked-out, taped-up windows, you are announcing that you are prepared. The illusion of vacancy. Your house needs to look just as miserable and abandoned as your neighbors. Leave some trash in the yard. Close the gates, but don't padlock them from the outside. A padlock screams valuables inside. If you have a generator, you cannot run it in your garage or on your porch. The acoustic signature is a dinner bell for looters. The perimeter reset. Forget the no trespassing signs. They are paper targets. You need physical deterrents that don't look like traps. The crunch factor. Spread gravel or dried leaves under your ground floor windows. You aren't looking for a wall. You're looking for an early warning system. Physics doesn't lie. You can't sneak over dry gravel silently. 2. The door reinforcement. Most front doors fail at the strike plate. A single kick from a 200-pound man will shear the half-inch screws off a standard frame. You replace those screws now with 3-inch hardened steel screws that bite into the structural 2x4 studs of the house. Listen, if someone wants in bad enough, they'll get in. Your goal in the first 24 hours isn't to fight a war. It's to make your home look like it's not worth the effort. Make the predators move to the soft target down the street. It's cold, it's grim, but it's how you survive. The sun is down. The world you knew is officially dead. Now we enter the most dangerous phase, the first night. The first 24 hours are over. The sun is beginning to bleed over a horizon that looks the same as yesterday. But make no mistake, the world you woke up in is gone. If you followed the protocols we've discussed, you have water in the bladder, your perimeter is hardened, you are a gray man in a world of neon targets. But here is the cold, hard truth. None of that matters if you don't have the mental fortitude to keep going. The most critical takeaway I can give you is this: survival is a perishable skill. Most people will watch this video, feel a momentary spike of adrenaline, and then go right back to their comfortable, fragile lives. They'll tell themselves they'll get to it next weekend. They are the ones who will be pleading for help when the taps run dry. Knowledge without immediate, decisive action is just a sophisticated way to die. Physics doesn't care about your intentions. It only cares about the barricade you actually built and the water you actually stored. You can be a victim of the collapse, or you can be a survivor of it. This channel is not for the curious, it is for the committed. If you want to be the one who leads your family through the dark, you need to be part of this unit. Subscribe to Vanguard Survival. Hit the notification bell. We don't post for entertainment, we post for readiness. When the cell towers go down for good, you'll wish you had spent more time here. If you've secured your first 24 hours, your next move is logistics. If you don't have your mobility kit ready, you are a stationary target. Click the video on the screen now to see exactly how to build a 72-hour bag that won't fail you when the pavement ends. Or, if your home is your fortress, click the other video to learn how to manage the next 6 days of the collapse. The clock never stops. Neither should you. Stay vigilant, stay silent, stay alive.